Since 1991, W.A.C.F. has focused on improving water quality with two primary tools: acquisition of critical properties, currently over 900 acres, and mitigation projects to limit sediment containing harmful nutrients from entering our lakes by stabilizing eroding creek banks and encouraging best farming practices. While we've made tremendous progress, we're always seeking to direct our limited resources to priority hotspots. And to that end, W.A.C.F. funded a study by Wayne Stanger in late 2017, which resulted in the identification of 29 critical hotspots. All of the recommended projects involve considerable expense, but we currently have no scientific way to prioritize them. In early 2018, our Ecology Committee, led by Beth Morris and Joan Seinall, M.D., began discussions with Dr. Jerry Sweeten, Professor Emeritus of Environmental Studies at Manchester University and President of Ecosystems Connections Institute. Over the course of several months, they designed a robust, comprehensive study to create a legacy database that will allow us to best allocate our resources for future projects and measure long-term results. To accomplish our goals, Dr. Sweeten and his team will place 5 extremely sophisticated sampling gauges, one each at the 5 inflows to Lake Wawasee. Samples will also be taken at the Syracuse Lake outflow of Turkey Creek, slightly past the Syracuse Dam. Our approach is to conduct highly intensive daily samples every 4 hours, April through June, when agriculture production is at its greatest, and 75% of the annual nutrients and sediment are likely entering the watershed. Samples will be picked up daily and analyzed for phosphorus, nitrogen, suspended sediment, dissolved oxygen, and many other attributes. Following this peak period, samples will be taken weekly and also after the first monthly rainfall. This data-rich approach will show statistically what levels of phosphorus and nitrogen and sediment each tributary is contributing to our lakes.
The nutrients in the sediment in agriculture, that's their natural capital, soil health. And those nutrients cost money. So farmers have no economic, they're not interested in losing that natural capital to erosion. And clearly the lake folks or people around the lake don't want to see the nutrients in the sediment enter the lake. So this is one of those cases that, as the data becomes a bit more revealing, that in the mitigation and restoration efforts move forward, this is one of those cases where everybody wins. Try to keep the nutrients in the sediment in the place that's going to be most valuable to the farmers and to the agricultural world up in the watershed, and then that's also going to result in cleaner water and better water quality in the lake.
Our testing will start in the spring of 2019 with over 2,000 samples analyzed each year. The targeted duration of the project is 3 years, and actionable data will become available in the first months. This scientific approach will also enhance our ability to attract government partners to take part in the funding of major mitigation projects.
You know, the first time I met folks at W.A.C.F., the thing that impressed me was the level of professionalism and the progressive view of the environment and understanding of ecological processes that are taking place within the watershed. And their approach towards looking at this in sort of a scientific way and reaching out in education and forming diverse partnerships to help build a broad base to address the water quality concerns in the basin of things like the nutrients that we talked about earlier. And so not only have the group it's been very progressive and strategic, but they've done land acquisition to have sort of address critical areas. They've been involved in mitigation projects, and now beginning to move into the phase of perhaps collecting some data that might help set a baseline for determining how the lake is changing.
In our watershed, there has never been a study conducted or even proposed that is as comprehensive and sophisticated as this landmark W.A.C.F. study. We feel that the study is essential to direct our resources, mitigation, and land acquisition to the most urgent problem areas. This study is not only ambitious, but also quite costly. Please consider showing your support with a W.A.C.F. donation.